Ooh, what is this?
Dead up and dead belt for your next
What
fight.
is it? Wow, this is cool.
You said you're fighting Dana for
Am
the
I
TKO
to see
title.
who dies or what?
And we have
Wow.
What is your opinion about the belt?
It's beautiful. See, fighters love fighting for belts. That's the bottom line.
Oscar, a lot to talk about.
All right,
A lot to talk
another
about.
subject.
A lot to talk about. And jump into it real quick. Obviously, the Dana White situation with TKO. You've spoken a lot about it. Just don't trust these guys, and I quote you. They're scumbags. You just came out on your clapback Thursday. And do you think that's going to affect what's going on with them at the moment? They're investigating them. You think they're going to still stay in boxing at the moment? What is your overall thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, when the FBI is involved, it's because it's for a reason. The reasons obviously came out. They're not going away. And the FBI does not just go away. And they don't turn up for something small. They turn up because something serious really happened. So I think as this all unfolds, the truth will come out. The truth will always prevail. That's the bottom line. So I'm gonna sit back and with my little popcorn and enjoy the show.
Now, switching the page, Tank versus Jake Paul, that's another big topic. First of all, how close was that going to happen? Was there even conversation with you with Ryan possibly facing Jake? Was that even close? And what do you think that Tank goes from here now? They keep on saying that obviously the situation that Tank's going through, but one of those things I was talking about was the cells. There was no cells in the fight. The tickets were not there. The interest was not there. The Tank was not promoting the fight. Right. But what do you see Tank right now at the moment? And as well, how close was it possibly even with Ryan facing Jake Paul?
First of all, Ryan Garcia, Jake Paul wasn't close at all. They called us. I believe Nikisa called Eric. And then Eric called me and I shut it down. It's just not going to happen. There's no, it can't happen. Without my blessing. So, the long story short is I have a contract with Ryan, a multi-fight contract. And we're in talks to fight somebody else. There's Barrios, who a lot of people are throwing out there for a world title, which is a huge possibility. But yeah, there was nothing serious with Jake Paul.
Why did you shut it down so quickly, Oscar? Because, that was going to be Ryan's biggest payday. Obviously, that would be a big payday for Golden Boy. You mentioned the TV, the Zone, and Netflix, but those deals can get made. But why did you shut it down so quickly?
Because we have a contract with the Zone, and they work with Netflix. And it just wasn't the right fight for Ryan. What we want to build with Ryan is something special. Just like we've done with Virgil and how I did with Canelo and how I've done with so many fighters. We wanna make sure that he's on the right trajectory, the right path to get to the world title, to become a star, a superstar in boxing. And that wasn't it.
How did Ryan feel about that? Did you guys talk to
I
him?
haven't talked to him.
Oscar, can you just Supreme Boxing here? Let's talk about this event. Golden Boy in Texas is almost synonymous with some tremendous fights. If you look over the years, you guys are tried and true, proven out here in Texas. The fight fans turn up for Virgil, for the guys that Golden Boy makes. How exciting and what does that say to you as a promoter that you have guys like Boots Ennis and Brandon Adams coming to see Virgil, all these guys, because 150 Brandon Adams is coming, yes sir. So you have all these guys that are interested in a Golden Boy event that you're putting on, and the division's hot with Virgil Ortiz as one of the superstars.
Well, look, first of all, I feel Virgil is on the brink of becoming a superstar. Lubin is no walking park. This is a dangerous fight. This this is a fight that can either make your career or derail it. And it's interesting, right? Because Lubin is a guy who nobody wanted to fight. A guy who every world champion was surprisingly busy already with their own fights. Every world champion out there. I mean, Lubin's coming off fights with he's coming off fights with some big names, some great fights. So Virgil's not looking past him. He has his business to take care of on Saturday, and yeah, you're right. We'll have 10,000 people in the arena, and Texas always does show up. So it's a testament to what Virgil has built throughout the years. It's a testament to what we've done, Golden Boy in boxing, and we're going to continue chipping away with Virgil. But I really do feel that Virgil can become the guy, just because of the deep weight class and the names that are waiting for him in line to get the shot. So Verg Ortiz holds the key right now, and having a great win on Saturday will just solidify his status as being one of the best 54-pounders out there.
Hey, Oscar,
¿Qué es lo que más te molesta? Bueno, cambiando un poco de tema y de idioma, ¿qué es lo que más te molesta del boxeo actual? Porque te hemos visto en el Black Tuesday hablando de absolutamente todo el pareciera que no te gusta lo que ves ahorita.
Lo único que no me gusta es de que los peleadores no están peleando con los mejores. Es todo. Es así de fácil. Yo quiero ver las mejores peleas que se puedan hacer posible, ¿no? Actualmente. Y hay campeones mundiales que no quieren pelear con los mejores. Y es lo único que me molesta. Porque yo, obviamente, fui peleador y yo promuevo como que peleé, ¿verdad? Como cuando yo peleo con los mejores, y yo quiero que mis peleadores peleen con los mejores en el momento perfecto, ¿no? Cuando sean campeones, cuando ya eres campeón tienes que pelear con los mejores del mundo, y actualmente el boxeo no está haciendo eso. Es lo que me molesta, me frustra.
¿A dónde vamos a parar?
No, él está haciendo sus peleas. Él, mira, por ejemplo, un día me puede llamar y decirme, yo quiero esta pelea. Y si no estamos hablando con The Zone o no estamos proyectados para hacer esa pelea, sí, es una idea que se puede hacer con Turkey. Si paga el dinero, si tenemos a The Zone envueltos, si todos estamos de acuerdo, esa pelea se puede hacer, no hay ningún problema con Turkey. Turkey, él quiere ver las mejores peleas posibles, pero obviamente también tiene que pagar.
¿Y con lo de los organismos?
Los organismos, los organismos, yo como peleador y como promotor voy a defenderlos hasta el fin. Yo he hablado con Suleiman, yo he hablado con Paco Valcarcel, yo he hablado con todos, con Gilberto, con la FIB, y Golden Boy está 100% apoyando a los organismos.
Oscar, Kevin Garcia, aka the Puerto Rican Kid KG. I just wanted you to maybe offer a thought or reaction to the actual Tank Jake situation. I know Jair asked you, but I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
but I didn't hear you
about
say what you thought about Tank exactly.
Right. What I feel about Tank? He's a great fighter. I mean, he's one of my favorites, literally. I have nothing bad to say about him. I mean, he's a great fighter when he's in the ring. He's a great fighter when he's training. He's a great fighter when he's focused. It's just outside the ring, for some reason he gets in trouble. You know, I'm not sure what he's going through, or if he is going through something. Man, we wish him, all the best, and hopefully he gets back on the straight line. You know, we always wish that for fighters, because this is a tough sport. You know, that gets into your psyche and kind of fucks with you. But think Tank Davis, yeah, he has his whole career ahead of him. I think I don't really know if he wanted this fight. I don't really know if he wanted an exhibition. I don't think that's in Tank's nature, you know. Yeah, it would have been a great payday. Yeah, it would have been a lot of exposure, but it does nothing to Tank's legacy. And I really do think that Tank cares about his legacy.
Yeah. Well, when you think about the year he's had, right? He had a draw unexpectedly, had a fight canceled in August, another fight canceled. What's a bounce back like that for a fighter of Tank's caliber, and how much of his leverage does he lose now going forward?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Tank Davis's career almost derailed, you know, with the draw. You know, now taking the Jake Paul fight and all that circus there. But he's still on the right path to bring it back and continue his legacy. You know, there's no loss in Gervonta Davis not fighting Jake Paul. Who knows if he's gonna fight ever again? I wish he does. We want to see him against the very best, like he always fights. You know, he's a plus for the sport. I really do wish he gets his. I can't even say life, because I mean, I'm sure his life is together. It's just, you know, maybe he's going through a few things, you know, personally, and he's got to just get them together and move on. Let's go. Let's get the fights, you know, that the fans want to see. Let's make them and give the fight fans, you know, some excitement.
Different.
About, you know, initially, what was your first reaction when they mentioned that they both were going to be here Saturday night?
Yeah, so Verg Ortiz has to obviously win, and he's focused 1,000%, as I am too. I mean, I'm focused 1,000% on making sure this event, you know, goes on and we take it to the finish line, and people are talking about Boots Ennis, and they're talking about Verg Ortiz, and you know, my gosh, let's make that fight right away. Well, we can't make a fight until Verg Ortiz wins. That's just the bottom. I don't work like that, you know. I don't like having fights already made when they have the job at hand to take care of on Saturday night. Yeah, I welcome Eddie. I welcome Boots Ennis to see who the very best 154-pound fighter is, and that's Verg Ortiz. I welcome them. I mean, it's a great show. When you watch Verg Ortiz, you're always going to get an exciting fight. I'm just afraid that if Boots does see him in person, he's going to shy away from the fight.
Well,
Oscar,
Eddie said.
I'm sorry. You mentioned Barrios potentially for Ryan. He's got the WBC belt, the coveted belt.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Ryan coming off a WB suspension, jumping into a title fight, and Barrios is no walk in the park.
No, I actually have to commend, you know, Barrios and Ryan, and you know, making that fight. Yeah, it'll be a special fight. I mean, imagine Ryan beating Barrios, something that Pacquiao couldn't do, or an older Pacquiao couldn't do. You know, it would be a big accomplishment for Ryan. Finally becoming a world champion after all these years. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting because it's not an easy fight, and then again, Ryan can really show the world, you know, what he's made of. Because it wouldn't be easy.
Is he on top of the list, Barrios, as far as for Ryan at this point?
He is on top of the list. Yes, I mean, it's no secret. There's no hidden agenda. I think Barrios, will be the guy for Ryan. It's a matter of just negotiating it and making the fight. So,
Oscar, following the Boots last fight, Eddie said that, not formally, but verbally, that Eric and yourself and them had a verbal agreement for early 2026 for Verg and Boots. How much truth is there to that, and how in-depth have those...
Who said that, Eddie?
Eddie Hearn said that following Boots' last fight.
Do you believe it?
I'm asking you.
I got my new material for next week. Let's see. No, look, I want that fight. I want that fight 1,000%. We want that fight. First thing is first. Virgil has to win on Saturday. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take Virgil from his focus, from his tunnel vision, and kind of go to him and say, hey, sign this contract because we're gonna fight Butsenis. No. Let him win his fight on Saturday, and then we'll start negotiations. But is there a verbal agreement? Yeah. Eddie wants it. I want it. Virgil wants it. Boots wants it. Yeah. We'll start negotiating right after the victory if he wins.
Oscar.
You did the same thing that.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you did the same thing that Virgil's doing right here. We're taking on opponents who may not be household names,
Right.
but are tough hombres. He's done that now 3 straight times with these guys. What does that say about him? And what does it say to him about him to you in your eyes?
Yeah, look, I promote the way I fight, and I like promoting my fighters and putting in there, with them with tough fighters, with real tests. And Lubin happens to be the #1 contender, and it's a real fight, a real test. He's been in there with tough guys, world champions. So I strongly feel that Verg Ortiz, to me, in my eyes, will be the next superstar of boxing. He's on the right path. He's on the right trajectory. He's fighting the right guys, and fighting Lubin and beating him will obviously take him to a super fight, which then will lead him to superstardom. So it's what we do, Golden Boy, and with our fighters, it's what we do. We open the path. We make sure that these fighters have the opportunity. And that's exactly what Virgil needs. It's the opportunity. He has to win Saturday, and he has the opportunity to taste superstardom in this next fight.
Oscar,
3
question.
more minutes.
Oscar.
I said because I was interrupted. Sorry.
So prior, going to the talk about the fight with Virgil, there was saying Woodson is needing some tune-up fights. What do you think about, he talks about Woodson need those tune-up fights, but Team Ortiz kept on saying, we don't need no tune-up fights, we're just going to jump in there.
Right.
Eddie Hearns, if I'm not mistaken, even it was mentioned from Eddie, we're going to take some tune-up fights and prepare for Virgil.
Right.
What do you think about that? One side is needs a tune-up fights, and the other one just is like, just jump in there.
Well, look, if you go back to, if you rewind a bit, you remember when Boots Ennis fought, and Eddie was like, let's fight Virgil now, and they were on TV, on camera, saying this and that, and then right after they were off camera, it's like nothing happened. We were calling out Boots Ennis, and they didn't want to do it. They wanted a tune-up fight, this and that. I understand all that. As a fighter, yes, you want tune-up fights, but come on, how many tune-up fights do you need? You're already a world champion. It's like you're fighting the top guys, and then you're going back in your career. You're rewinding your career. Like, what are you doing? Go into a fight where yes, it's a tough fight. You're moving up in weight, but let's make the fights happen. That's the bottom line. Don't go back on your word. And then accuse Virgil that we're ducking Boots. It's like it's come on. Let's not play these games. Let's just make the fights happen. Virgil Ortiz is ready at 154, and I'm glad. Like I said, Boots Ennis is coming down to watch his fight. I'm actually really glad he is. But then again, I am afraid that Boots Ennis is going to see Virgil, and he's going to tell Eddie, I don't want Virgil next. Let me have another tune-up fight.
Hey, Oscar,
Oscar,
it
just-
seems like every
Last question.
Oscar, hold on.
I'll get you and then.
Thank you.
Oscar, it seems like every division Virgil's in, 140, 147, 154, it becomes the most stacked division in boxing. And he even acknowledged that.
Right.
And same with you as a fighter. He's still trying to get that world title, but talk about his mentality, of fighting the best, who's ever in front of him, at every weight class he's been in.
Yeah, you take a look at Virgil's record. Fighting Boacek and fighting all these tough guys.
Mean Machine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Madrimov.
Hooker, yeah.
Who's doing that these days? And for no world title. So think about that, right? So Virgil Ortiz right now is so hungry. I'm not talking literally. I mean, he's got to make weight tomorrow, right? But he is so hungry to win a world title. And I'm glad because him winning Saturday night and him fighting Boots, I mean, Boots has another thing coming, that's for sure, because Virgil is going to come with everything. You know, and like I said, look, Virgil Ortiz, and like you mentioned, whatever weight class he's in, everybody follows because everybody knows. The fighters know at 154, at 147, wherever Virgil's at, that he's the golden ticket. He's the only one that's going to be able to fill up the Cowboy Stadium. Just like he told Jerry Jones when he was a young kid coming up, I'm going to fill up that stadium, Jerry Jones, for you. And I believe it now. But he's the only one that can do it. Without Virgil Ortiz, nobody can do it now. Today in boxing. So if we make Virgil versus Boots, if we make, you know, Virgil whoever it is in his next fight, it's going to be a mega event. It's going to be a Las Vegas, you know, showdown. It's going to be a Dallas Cowboy showdown. That's what Virgil Ortiz brings to the table. He is ready right now to face anybody, anywhere, and make the biggest fight possible.
All right, thank you guys.
Hold on, I have one more. Thank you, James. Thank you, Oscar. I think we all got to get your thoughts. Two of your former opponents, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, 10 years after the fact. You're talking about running it back. What's your thoughts on that? And then I just have one quick follow-up question to it.
It should have happened a long time ago, obviously. I don't mind it because it'll be entertaining. And I'm curious to see how Mayweather will react, you know, to Pacquiao's style again, you know. I mean, Mayweather's Mayweather. He has a great style, great defense. Probably the same thing will happen again, but it'll be entertaining. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but again, it should have happened a long time ago. And this is exactly what I tell fighters. You have to seize the opportunity at the moment when it's hot, when people are talking about it. Like Pacquiao, Mayweather, should have fought several months after they had their first fight. You know, imagine how big that would have been. So I don't know how big it'll be, them fighting now, but I think I would watch it just to be entertained. You know, they're both two of the best elite fighters on the planet, so you got to give them their props.
One other of your former opponents, Tito Trinidad, recently said he'd be open to facing you again. That's your first loss, controversially. Would you ever be open to that as an exhibition or even a fight?
I can't even go 1 minute. I mean, if we fought 1 minute rounds, I would maybe try, but no, that's no possibility. I'm telling you right now, there's no comeback whatsoever. I was ready for an exhibition with Vitor Belfort or whoever his name was, and I was training so hard, and then just got COVID, got injured, got some ribs broken, literally in sparring. I mean, little guys. So everything happened for a reason. So there's no comeback for me.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you guys.